Hey, guys, welcome back and happy Wednesday. You guys know what that means. Tonight is the premiere episode of the first part of the reunion for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I dubbed Thursdays as our Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Day because not only do we come back to recap, but after Watch What Happens Live and everything comes out, then we have so much to talk about. It's headline after headline after headline. But today we are back to talk about one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Crystal Kung Minkoff, who opened up in a recent interview with David Yontif, not our interview, but David Yontif from Behind the Velvet Rope. And she's talking about what surprised her most about Erika and her feelings on Lisa Vanderpump joining the cast, which actually shocked me. All right, guys, we have all those details. But before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. I also want to give you guys a big special thanks for joining us last night for Hot Messy Topics, an unfiltered, opinionated conversation where you guys bring it every single time. So thank you guys so much for all of that. Now, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, so when it came to Crystal's thoughts on Erika and what surprised her the most, apparently it was the fact that she showed up for every scene of filming. Now, we've seen this in the past where housewives have been incredibly uncomfortable and they've decided to opt out of filming, which they are technically contractually obligated, but it does make me wonder, in their contract, does it say, okay, you can miss X amount of filming obligations, opportunities? So if we film 20 times, you can miss 3 times. One would think, you would wonder, because we, like I've said, have seen it with Denise Richards when the whole Brandi Glanville thing came out. We saw it with LVP. We've seen it with Ramona Singer. We've seen it with Bethany Frankel. We've seen it with a lot of these different housewives across the board who have decided to opt out because when the going got tough, the housewife got going. Now for Erika, that wasn't necessarily the case. No matter what was thrown her way this season, one thing we have to give her was she showed up for every part, every bit of filming. And I was reading some of the fan comments and fans were going, well, yeah, duh, she has to because this is her main source of income. She's not going to that up, especially because now the bank has gone to court, if you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, like Crystal's saying, it shocked her every single time. She would show up, and every time she would show up, Crystal would be surprised. Now, did she come out of like left field with some of these stories that we felt like we had to all connect the dots with? Yeah, absolutely. Did they make sense all of the time? No, they didn't. But that's why we had a storyline. That's why people were talking about the red flags. This is what Erika gave us to work with. Crystal did speak on the fact that some of her cast members were afraid, that they could be implicated throughout this whole process. And they were afraid that they could be called into court. But for Crystal, she said, I was not afraid of that. I was not worried about being called in court because she knows that she didn't do anything wrong in the first place. And she does hope Erika Girardi will return for season 12 because she said that she feels Erika deserves the spot. Now, is that because she showed up all season? Maybe. Or because she was relentlessly grilled at the reunion, which we've heard so much about. Thank gosh, we finally get to see it for ourselves tonight because I think that's our call to make. But at the end of the day, Crystal, I don't want to say she's Team Erika, but she is Team Erika deserves the spot. Now, David did ask her a great question, and it was, who would you like to see? What former housewife of Beverly Hills would you like to see return to the franchise? And she just blatantly said, not Lisa Vanderpump. That shocked me. And it only shocked me because Garcelle has been a big proponent of bringing Lisa back to the show. Sutton has also been very vocal about wanting to see Lisa come back to the show. We know Lisa Rinna, Kyle Richards, Dorit Kemsley, and Erika Girardi damn sure don't want to see her come back to the show. But Crystal, I thought she would have wanted to see her. Her words exactly were, not Lisa Vanderpump. The girls seem to have a lot of issues with her. But instead, 2 former castmates that she would like to see because she feels like she's like-minded with the rest of the group, well, that would be Yolanda Hadid and also Eileen Davidson. Let me tell you 2 things about the 2 that you chose, Crystal. Love Crystal, but 2 things. Yolanda Hadid is so busy with her 2 supermodel daughters who are the highest paid, 2 of the highest paid models in the world right now, covering multiple covers of Vogue magazine. She's like literally managing their career. She doesn't have time to join the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she's been there, done that. Just like Bethany Frankel, she's been there. She was there when the times were good. She made, her mark out of it, and she's not going back. Same thing with Yolanda Hadid. She does not need to go back. She's a grandmother now. She has so much other stuff going on. Now for Eileen, we don't need Eileen back. And I hate to say this, but I feel like Denise Richards, Eileen Davidson, Catherine Edwards, these were a couple of women who really didn't bring a lot to the show. I mean, if you disagree with me, totally chime in and say that you disagree with me. If you think Eileen Davidson did bring something to the show, go ahead. But I think one of her most iconic moments, which was really kind of disgusting and awful to watch, was when Kim Richards said, "You shut your mouth, you beast." And she's like, "Beast, how dare you?" But that wasn't her moment that she gave us. That was Kim Richards coming in. So at the end of the day, Crystal, I'm sorry I have to disagree with you. No Eileen Davidson. Please, producers, you already messed up the casting for New York and season 15 of OC. Don't do it again with the Beverly Hills Housewives. Please, please. Now, looking back at Crystal's time on the show, she did say that some of the conversations were really hard. There were very serious conversations, and filming in general was hard for her. She actually almost quit. Crystal said, "It just wasn't the start and the tone I wanted from the jump, and it was very challenging for me. This really threw me for a loop. It really messes with you emotionally. But through that, there's a massive growth in the experience." She said that to me as well in our interview, and she said when she first started, she met up with the women at Dorit's house, and she was kind of smitten. She thought, wow, I'm in this big group of celebrities. Crystal, they're Bravo celebrities. This is not Angelina Jolie. This is not Oprah Winfrey. This is not Whitney Houston or Britney Spears. They're just housewives. You're okay. But Crystal did say that she had a hard time kind of opening up at first, and she didn't actually open up until the end of the season. So at first, when the cameras were in her face, she was uncomfortable. She was talking about body issues that she had, not being comfortable in a bathing suit, her father's illness. I mean, she gave us a lot of content, but she wasn't the most comfortable in her skin, her bubbly self, when the cameras were first in her face. And mind you, until you go through this experience of being on reality TV, I don't think you could digest what it would be like to have 4 camera people in your face and people telling you what to do, and then women fighting for no reason. As soon as the green light goes on, it's like, go, no one's safe. I don't think that anybody would be used to that if you haven't been in the situation before. So that's why I always say it's important to give these housewives their freshman season and make sure that we allow them the time to grow in order to deliver the best housewife, well, that they can be. She said after filming, she did come to the realization that she needs to decompress more quickly and also process more quickly. That way she can get in there and make sure that she is hanging with the rest of the women. But that's not it. She did chime in, though, on her riff with Sutton Strack, and she said, honestly, I'm reactionary. I don't look back on my feelings as not real. They're extremely real. I just would have taken a step back, and I wish that Sutton and I were able to get to a better place faster. She said the same thing with me. She just let us know, you know, that kind of got dragged out longer than it needed to be. And she wishes, instead of being so reactionary, which again, with cameras in your face, you don't know how you're going to act. It's not like a real situation. It makes it 10 times more amplified. She wishes she would have just taken a step back and not had these issues with Sutton and moved past them quicker. I really like Crystal. I do. Now, despite all the struggles and receiving a lot of hateful messages on her social media accounts, which I hate for Crystal, she did say that a lot of fans are reaching out, giving her great messages as well. She said the best thing is the nice messages that come from young girls, Asian girls, or any girls of color who say how much the representation matters to them, especially the Asian girls who've said, there's no Asian people on TV. There's no one that looks like me. And that's pulling at her heartstrings the most. Honestly, I have to applaud Crystal because she's received a lot of disgusting messages I do not stand behind. And I think that it's absolutely atrocious that people even behave this way. I call them keyboard warriors because that's exactly what they are. They get behind the keyboard, they say disgusting things, they think that they have a backbone, they attack people for no reason, and then they're like, oh, what are you going to do about it? Well, what are you supposed to do about it? How do you go up against a keyboard warrior that you know has nothing else going on with their lives, and what else are they going to do? Pisses me off. All right, guys. Well, with that, again, we have the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 1 airing tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll be back with Jason from Down with Jason and Dana Wilkie, $25,000 sunglasses. We'll be back with them both in order to break it down. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead, comment below. What do you think about Crystal saying she does not want to see Lisa Vanderpump join the cast? How do you feel about her chiming in on Erika? And also, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, like I said, get subscribed. If you haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button. Hit that notification bell and have a beautiful Wednesday. Go make some memories and stay safe. Love you guys. Bye.